First of all, Danny, thank you so much to come on with us. And we've it's been a long time coming. Last time we had you, we tried to make was a couple years ago when Q League was first announced. Now that we have this new initiative, DUSA Codes, it's an amazing experience. Thank you, Ethla, Logitech, Medex Index, StreamYard. Thanks everyone for having us. And I'm gonna start by introduce yourself. They already know my face.
Yeah, yeah. I could say it in English or in Spanish. I mean, I could do both,
Dude,
just in case.
un beautiful Spanglish.
No, Spanglish, Spanglish. Nada, me llamo Dani Peña y ahora vivo en Los Ángeles, California, aquí en Estados Unidos. Y tengo un podcast que ya va a cumplir 17 años en febrero que se llama Gamertag Radio. Y hay mucha gente que no sabe esto, pero yo soy el primer latino que está en el Salón de Fama de podcast.
Y I know you have a lot of experience with big companies como Microsoft. Y ahora I heard that you're in G4 TV, one of
Oh,
my
sí,
childhood
sí.
video channels. So
Claro.
G4 TV, you can tell them a little about G4 TV about
Yeah.
what was it before the Twitch time, maybe.
Yeah. So G4 TV was a network the network that launched way back in the days, and we just had a relaunch just 2 weeks ago here in the States. And the difference is now than back then. Back then was only 100% cable, but now we're focusing a lot on the digital side and also cable, and it's worldwide, so people could watch it on YouTube and Twitch. So I'm the games editorial lead for G4.
Wow.
My team is also from the X Play, and we release content every day, Monday through Friday, man. Every day,
Wow.
digitally and also on cable,
You
man.
have every Bronx kid's dream job. So
Yeah,
don't come to the
yeah,
Bronx. You're not invited over here anymore. That's it. You went to Los Angeles.
yeah.
Ya tú
That's
no
it,
eres de
right?
aquí.
That's it.
Tú no
No,
eres de
no,
aquí ya.
no. Yo soy de Nueva York, 100% de Nueva York. Yeah.
No, I know. And I know that I wanted to talk about like your experience as a Hispanic Latino gamer
Hmm.
in the scene now, especially now with today's climate. And how do you feel? How do you, like you're just a position in this industry, and how do you feel about that? And it can be also, it can be even like you can have issues with it. I just want to know what I'm trying to gauge what your experience is.
I'll say this also in Spanish because I really want people to
Hmm.
understand me.
Thank you
Pero
so much for that.
cuando yo comencé hace 20 años, porque yo comencé en el año 2001, no había mucha gente latino en ese tiempo que estaba haciendo lo que estoy haciendo yo ahora. Y yo siempre le digo a la gente que be a leader, not a follower. Don't wait until something is like popular for you to start doing it.
Hmm.
Doing it because you love it, and that's your passion. Y eso fue para mí, man, porque cuando yo comencé, había mucha gente que decían, oh, videojuegos para niños, you're wasting your time and todo,
Hmm.
pero yo seguí adelante
Wow.
haciendo mi podcast y mi internet radio en ese tiempo. Y
Okay.
fue poco a poco en diferentes eventos en Nueva York y también aquí en California. Y conocí mucha gente que está en la industria.
Hmm.
Conocí el equipo que trabajó en el GameCube de Nintendo, también de Xbox. Conocí a Bill Gates también en el.
Wow. I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, way back. Pero eso fue porque yo tenía un sueño que yo siempre quería hacer algo de radio. Eh, Desde que yo estaba a little kid, man. So,
Hmm.
yo hice eso y poco a poco conocí gente en la industria y ahora, ahora en este año, hay tantos latinos que están haciendo contenido that is awesome. And not only in the United States, pero también en Latinoamérica también. So, and that part I'm very, very happy to see because cuando yo estaba, a young kid, yo no tenía like the someone to guide me to do all these things, to
Right.
learn. Yo aprendí todo myself, pero ahora que tenemos muchos latinos que están haciendo esto,
Hmm.
es mejor para nosotros enseñar the next generation,
Yes.
not only in content creation, pero también in development. So that's why I'm very happy that we're having this not only in New York but also in the Dominican Republic.
Yeah.
And I'm going to mention this a couple of years ago. I went to Santo Domingo y yo le dije a mis amigos que están allá, hey, yo quiero conocer la comunidad de videojuegos aquí. y me llevaron, conocí mucha gente que juegan y también hacen videojuegos allá. Y the main thing that they were saying to me was that they feel left out.
Of course, of course.
Because a lot of the gaming companies aquí siempre van para países como México, Brasil, países más grandes que tienen más gente allá, right? Pero there's so many people that are so talented in the Dominican Republic that makes great games, but they just need help with resources. So, I'm glad that you guys are doing this because I think this is going to be the beginning for big things in the future for us, for our people over there.
Most definitely. Um, it's beautiful that you mentioned the individual experience, because growing up, you're right, there's no guidance. You know, nowadays we have curriculum. We have courses that kind of put your foot in the gaming industry. Like people are under the impression that todo lo que hay en gaming is deporte electrónico,
Sí.
esports, pero hay journalism. There's radio, there's podcasts, there's streamers.
Development también.
Development. Oh, don't
Yeah,
do a close
marketing.
shout out.
Yeah.
Marketing. Specific marketing para gaming. And it's a great thing to have, and it's resources that I think we're still lacking here in the States in general. But it's also nice to see someone that came from where we're from, and it's relatable to see, oh, now that you're in Los Angeles, G4 TV, you've met Bill Gates, you have so many awards from Xbox. Like I went to your LinkedIn and I was overwhelmed. Like, okay, this guy isn't gonna come on this podcast with all his 100 awards. I know recently you had like 100th podcast or 1,000 podcast.
No, 1,000. El primer podcast del mundo entero,
Oh my God.
de videojuegos que ha tenido más de 1,000 episodios de podcast.
Can you tell me a little bit more about the celebration? Because I know that event was huge.
Yes, that was big. Actually, every year I try to do something big. Last year I had the head of Xbox, Phil Spencer, on our show. Y esa entrevista estaba everywhere, en todo página de web, from major media outlets como CNN, Forbes, cosas así. Y este año, cuando lanzamos nosotros el 1,000 episode, tenía nosotros el que era presidente de Nintendo of America, Reggie Fils-Aimé.
Reggie, which I met, he actually came to this location.
Oh, in the Bronx, yeah, siempre va allá.
Yeah.
So yo hablé con él, le hice entrevista y again, eso estaba everywhere, man. So, y también este año, Twitch me pusieron a mí en un billboard en Times Square.
Yes, I saw. Oh my God.
Para celebrar the Hispanic Heritage Month. Sí, so lo que yo le dije a ellos, mira, yo quiero poner mi micrófono, I'm from New York City, video gamer, pero también quería que me ponieran ahí la bandera dominicana. And the reason I did that on purpose, is to show people that there's other people from the Dominican community that's doing big things, not only from the music side,
exactly.
entertainment.
We're not just entertainers.
Exactly. So, but I know that I'm gonna try my best as much as I can to make a major change in not only Dominican Republic, but just for Latinos in general, man.
I think you're doing a pretty good job already. And you know what? I'm excited to see what you have, on your future projects. I know that I met you in a time where you were heavily involved with Microsoft Xbox, and now seeing you go to G4 TV is incredible. Don't know if you're doing the X-Play. I'm not gonna ask. But,
no, I'm doing I'm doing X-Play behind the scenes more. But I mean, I'll be on camera like in the future and stuff. But I'm more of focus on just getting the content, getting the guests. Like next week is a big week here in Los Angeles. It's the Game Awards. Eso va a pasar en jueves en vivo.
Yeah.
Y va a haber mucha gente de la industria que va a estar aquí. So ellos me invitaron a mí para estar en the award show. So I'm going to go there. Y también, este fue el primer año para nosotros that we were part of the judges para nominar the nominees for this year the Game Awards, and that's like really really big thing for us, man. Millones de personas ven ese programa, the award show. So.
Wow. And this is your first time being in an award show? Primera vez que
primera vez. Esta va a ser mi primera vez yendo allá el jueves. So I'm gonna voy cambiadito, nice and
Nice. That's incredible. I mean,
claro que sí.
Oh my God, That's what I'm talking about. We need more. We need ways to incorporate our community to have opportunities like the ones you do. I mean, obviously, the work that you do takes a lot of sudor, a lot of perseverance. I've never heard of a podcast that made it to 1,000 episodes. I've heard of an anime that has One Piece,
Yeah.
shout out, but that's incredible stuff. I want you to talk about I think we still have a couple more. Yeah, well, we have enough time.
Yeah.
Um, I do want to talk about like what your future plans are. That way, the kids here can get a little bit of inspiration in terms of that, and that there's never an end goal, and it's more about the journey. About someone who's trying to like dwell in this particular field. The gaming industry is a tough one. Whether you're a developer, game designer, an indie developer, a commentator, it's tough. It's tough. And it's very ambiguous to the journey. Como there's no straight line when it comes to gaming, and it's easy to get sidetracked because of all the political, how the political climate is. And I want to know, like not only what you have in store for the future. I know obviously G4 TV, but as a personal, like for your personal development, how are you gonna like? How are you not burnt out after all these years of in the gaming field, and what keeps you motivated?
You know what? What keeps me motivated is having the right people in my team, or surround yourself with people that are also passionate on working on achieving their dreams. It doesn't matter
Mhm.
if it's gaming or not. For years I've been, surrounding myself with good people that I will always feel that I want to work hard and just continue doing with my podcast. Y lo que yo quiero hacer en el futuro es también a ayudar mi gente de allá, República Dominicana, man,
Mhm.
in any other way, even if it's, doing this remotely,
Mhm.
going over there and meeting people in person, invitar gente de la industria que pueden también hablar en eventos allá en Santo Domingo. Eso es lo que yo quiero hacer. Because you know what? We have the access. Why not give that access to other people?
Yes. Why not
We
bring
didn't
it?
have, I didn't have that back then.
Mhm.
It was extremely hard for me. Yo fui para el convention de E3, que es
Oh yeah.
un
Ether.
evento grandísimo aquí en Los Ángeles, que es de parte de la industria del videojuego. Y yo fui allá casi sin dinero. Yo nomás tenía, cuando yo comencé, I only had like $20 for the whole week.
Wow.
Yeah,
And you know those flights are expensive.
yeah, very expensive. But I invested my money on just the flights, hotels, etc. Y fui allá en ese tiempo que nadie sabía nada de podcast. Estaba todo el mundo mirándome como, ¿y qué es su podcast?
Wait,
Y
what year was this?
eso fue en el año 2005. Eso fue mi
Oh
primer
wow.
año.
Que eso,
Yeah, en
venga,
el 2000.
que un
eh,
podcast.
sí, eso fue antes que iTunes pusieron podcast
Yeah.
en el sistema de ellos, ¿sabes? En la plataforma.
Wow.
So yeah. So I went there not knowing anything, and I had no connections, nothing. Y me sentí como I wasted my time. Y
Oh.
cuando yo fui, I went back to back home, or 2 months later, Apple added podcasts. Entonces estaba todo el mundo contacting me like, hey, we would like for you to interview us, come to the studio. So yo siempre estaba viajando. Esto fue pre-pandemic.
Mhm.
Yo siempre voy para diferentes estudios mundialmente. Like I'll go to Europe, the UK. We've been to France,
Wow.
Canada, and I'll get to see stuff really, really early. And we'd sit down and talk to the developers that make these games,
Mhm. Mhm.
and that's the things that we do on our show. Now, like right now, I'm reviewing Halo Infinite.
Oh, so good.
That's gonna be in the future. I can't say when,
Okay. Okay. You
but
can't say
like
one. You can't say one.
no, pero el año pasado, Xbox y PlayStation lo mandaron las consolas a un mes antes que salió en tienda.
Wait, the
Y ellos
PS5 and the Xbox Series X?
PS5, yeah. Y recently, a couple of months ago, Nintendo sent me the Nintendo OLED que salió ahora. Y
Wow.
yeah, so eso lo que yo hago es
Okay.
reviews, previews, entrevistas con gente que hace los productos, que hacen videojuegos.
Mhm.
Y sí, that's what I do, man. And I do a lot of speaking engagements
Cool.
of about podcasting también, para enseñar a la gente cómo pueden hacer podcast también.
Yeah, and you should put in your resume that you're also easy to work with. And
Very easy to work with, very easy.
yeah, trust me.
And here's the thing, my schedule is kind of crazy, so
Mhm.
it's good for me to do things in advance, so be prepared, because it's crazy, my friend.
Yeah,
It's
and
really
I
crazy.
mean, I appreciate you having the time to spend it with us here.
Yeah.
And I have to ask, like, this is like one of the questions that I'm gonna leave for last because obviously,
Yeah, yeah, claro, claro.
what's your favorite? Because I don't see it anywhere when you're like talking. Because I've gone through I've listened to a lot of your talk shows. All right,
Okay.
what's your favorite game?
Man, I have a lot, man.
I knew it. I knew it.
I have a lot. I have a lot. You know, like old school. I love
Yeah,
like super.
nostalgic.
Like old school, I go with Super Metroid. I
Me
love.
too.
That's an amazing game. I
So you
love Final
okay?
Fantasy VI, which is three
Can't relate,
Super
but
NES. Yeah, yeah. I just love games that has like a great story and has a great music and awesome gaming experience.
yeah,
Me gusta también BioShock Infinite,
one of the best games.
Halo
Yeah,
2 and 3, you know, stuff like that, man.
it's funny
So,
you mentioned that.
mhm.
You like games with like a great storytelling, and it's funny that Super Metroid is one of your favorite games, considering it has little to no dialogue. It's the
Mhm.
way that they made that game that makes the
Sí.
story so compelling. It's
Eh,
you know the whole story without a line of dialogue in that game.
yeah,
Also, that
yeah,
game, yeah.
yeah.
Also, that game terrified me.
Oh,
But
but you know, I have to say something because a lot of people don't know this, but
okay.
back in los años 90, por ahí, it
Mhm,
was like 92, 93, 94,
mhm.
yo estaba viviendo en San Francisco Macorís y yo fui para mi mamá, le dije yo a ella, mam, yo quiero abrir un negocio, yo quiero que la gente vaya para mi arcade, que eso es lo que decía, y me tienen que pagar a mí para jugar all my games, you know, 30 minutes or up to an hour or even 15
Wow.
minutes. So I was the first person, this is a true story. A lot of people don't know this in the Dominican Republic, but I was the first person in the whole Dominican Republic in the early 90s
Record that guy.
that did the whole pay me and play, you know,
Yeah.
per controller. So en ese
Yeah.
tiempo yo lo estaba haciendo eso, era con el Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. So había mucha gente que iba para San Francisco Macorís para ver mi tienda de videojuegos, cosas así.
Nice.
And I always, since a kid, I always wanted to start a business from video games. And that was my first video game business back in the 90s, man, when I was a teenager.
Wow, that's incredible. I mean,
Yeah.
we all have those weird experiences. Cuando yo viajaba muchísimo en este momento,
Hmm.
todos los veranos. Y yo siempre traía el Super Nintendo con el Power Rangers y
Sí, sí.
todos los chamaquitos del bloque se entraban en la casa mía a jugar y mami se quillaba porque habían tantos chamaquitos, pero tú lo viste, ella salía con salami, crackers y le daban tu comida.
Sí,
Y yo no
sí,
hablaba
sí.
español así, tampoco lo hablo ahora, pero llegó Nueva York, that was a nickname.
Sí,
Y
sí,
yo
sí.
quillaba porque toda esta gente quiere jugar conmigo y yo no quiero compartir el control. I don't want to I don't want to share my controller.
Sí, sí.
Pero it's crazy. Like I think having such an entrepreneurship ideation or ideas at such a young age, it's I
Mhm,
think played a big role to where you're at today.
mhm.
Um, also, I don't know if I said this already, but thank you so much for coming on.
No, it's fine,
We
man.
still have a couple minutes to
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yeah.
I just want to say this, man.
Mhm.
Like, you know, a lot of people doubted me. A lot of people, even from friends, family, in Dominican Republic and New York,
It's hard to sell games,
they were
man.
all, even in Miami when I used to live there. Todo el
Mhm.
mundo la gente that decía, Danny, you're wasting your time. You're wasting your time
Mhm. Mhm.
doing this, man. Y yo dije, no, yo voy a seguir adelante. Yo sé que mi podcast va a ser successful. I know
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
because nadie lo estaba haciendo. Yo no esperé que algo was like for this to be popular for me to do this, right? Y
Mhm.
mira, ahora, hace el año pasado, entrevisté a Keanu Reeves, entrevisté yo
What? He's
entrevisté
my
yo a,
favorite actor of all time.
yeah, yo entrevisté a él porque está en Cyberpunk, entrevisté a Giancarlo Esposito, que está
Wow.
en Far Cry, en el new Far Cry game.
Mhm.
Y mira, eso fue porque lo conexiones, because look, the most important thing that a lot of people don't know, it's not about the content, it's not about how many followers you have, or it's about relationships at the end of the
Mhm.
day, man. It's about building relationships with people and try to talk and try to work with other people, man. You know, the industry is so small. You
Yeah,
know,
it is small.
every look, I just got the job and I got the job at G4 and I'm getting tons of people contacted me like, Danny, queremos estar en el estudio para entrevista y cosas así, tú sabes.
Wow.
And the thing that I love about working over there too, and part of the X-Play team and G4 is very, it's very diverse. Like there's so many people of color there, which is awesome to see, man. It wasn't like that back in the days, you
I
know.
don't
And
remember it being looking like that too. Yeah.
nah, and look, we are the ones that could make that change for the next generation now, to also making change, and not only in the video game industry but in all industries,
Yeah.
you know. So that's what I'm proud of like doing this, man. And I'm glad that you guys invited me to do this, man, because I really hope this is the beginning of bigger things that's
Most
coming
definitely.
to Santo Domingo, you know.
Yeah, and we're gonna New York and Santo Domingo are more connected than ever. Where
Hmm.
these two events are happening simultaneously, and looks beautiful on both ends.
Yeah.
Um, and it's funny you mentioned that about your experience here, and not just gaming, but the other paths people can take. Like for example, it kind of just hit me that we're also in the, and you never think about this, right? I just saw a video on Twitter about something called, it was like a parody. It was called Latino X-Men, but it was like
Oh,
a,
sí, sí, sí. Yo lo he
oh,
visto a ellos en TikTok, así.
yeah, and I'm
Yeah.
like, wow, like we're also in the comic book like field. We're also in the anime field.
Hmm.
And, these all people don't. These all correlate. Video games. If you like video games, there's a high percentage that you watch anime, which is a high percentage that you watch, the recon books. Everything that's assorted into the geek,
Sí,
or
sí, sí.
nerdy
Uh-huh.
culture, there's a
Yeah.
group of different interests. And I'm glad we're dwelling in that interest. And I'm glad we have people like you that can, give their time to talk to the community about why it's important, how it affects you, and what upbringing led you to this position. Um, we're almost up, and um, I do want to thank the team over there for making this happen. It looks beautiful over there. I wish you would have been here, Danny, or over
Yeah,
there.
it would have been honestly, like, I hope you guys do this again soon.
That's the
You
plan
know,
for sure.
soon, so I could also attend in person and just talk to people that are there at the event. Not only if it's in the Bronx or in
Mhm.
Dominican Republic, like I really want to do that, man. It's just, schedule,
No, of course, of
but
course.
we're gonna make that happen. I promise you guys, like,
Most definitely.
definitely gonna do that for sure.
Yeah, and I think we appreciate you. This isn't the first time you work with us. And we're here to have you. You're gonna hear from us.
Claro que
Especially
sí.
after today.
Claro
But
que sí, man.
I do want to thank you so much for your time. If you have any last remarks to give out to the people, the kids watching here that are playing Mortal Kombat right now, and Street Fighter and
Sí, sí,
Tekken,
yeah.
and people over there, this is it. This is it.
Yeah, just follow your dreams, man. That's the best advice I'll say to everyone. Follow your dreams. Don't give up. And if people are discouraging you because, they probably just don't understand what you do, just keep on going. There was a lot of people still to this day, they don't know what I do. So I just want to say that keep it up. I you know seeing my billboard this year in Times Square, that was like a dream come true, because that was my dream. Always wanted to do that, and también a llevar a mi mamá, mi papá, para que
Claro.
lo vean.
Yeah, claro.
See my mom, s- you know, there, you're like, I got emotional, man. I was like
Oh,
super awesome, man.
oh man.
And I was there 20 years ago
Mm-hmm.
when I went there just to cover an event for Microsoft and GameCube, the Nintendo event. So
Yeah.
when I saw that billboard, I was like, man, this was like,
Ah, that's
it's
incredible.
like full circle, full
Yeah,
circle.
yeah.
So
And I'm
yeah,
glad she had
that's
the
why I want to say that.
no, yeah, and I'm glad they had the faith to believe in you and stuff that led you there. And I'm glad you showed them. I didn't even think about the effect that this has on parents, but that's another conversation for another day.
Claro.
Danny Peña, thank you so much. Leonel Gómez from Dusa Codes, and Danny Peña from where he's from,
Everywhere.
from
No, pues
everywhere.
saludo a todo el mundo allá en República Dominicana. Yo pienso ir allá muy pronto y quizá podamos hacer otro evento allá y puedo hablar personalmente en vivo with everybody, man, instead of
Yes,
remote.
yes, yes.
For
Thank
sure.
you so much. Thank you, everybody.
All right,
Bye.
saludo. Bye.